13-year-old son was killed. In 94, playing in a complex where he lives at with his friends, cops and robbers, with a plastic orange. Let me say that again. Orange. Orange. Toy gun.
That's your boyfriend.
Got shot and killed by the police at the age of 13. But let me just say this. A year before that, he was profiled by the police and arrested for no reason. They took him to the precinct, threatened him because he kept telling them that he didn't do nothing. They threatened him and told him, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna take this gun and stuff it up your ass. And then they told him that he wouldn't even live to see the age of 15. A year later, he was killed by the police. From that day forward, my husband also lost his life. He was no longer living for himself. From that day on, he started living for justice for his 13-year-old son. 24 years to the day that he died, he was seeking justice for his son, and not only his son, but a whole lot of other kids and family members that has gotten killed by police. My husband suffered. Do you hear me? You don't know what it's like to be with someone that suffered the way that my husband did, trying to get justice for his son that he never got. I've been up plenty of nights crying and holding my husband to let him know that he wasn't alone. A lot of nights. There's been a lot of days that he was so messed up that he didn't even know if he was going to be able to make it to come out and speak, but he did. Since the passing of my husband's son, he has been supporting communities, mostly kids, making sure they have everything they need and letting them know that they are somebody, that they can be anything that they want to be. And since my husband took sick, I took that spot. And I've been fighting for the last 4 years, trying to keep it up what my husband has done. Give it up! We have to look at police brutality in its totality. And what do I mean by that? I mean that police brutality is state violence. Yes! Okay? Against black, brown, TGNC, poor, and working class people. Yes. That means it's systematic. And what do I mean by state? That means police officers. That means the courts. That means the prison. Yes. That means the mental health facilities. Yes. That means the healthcare system, and that means our schools. Yes. This system wasn't made to serve us or help us. It was made to uplift white supremacy. Yeah. It was made to uplift the capitalist class. Yeah. It was made to uplift homonormative behavior and life, but never was to uplift us. When you uplift that banner and say defund the NYPD, we mean defund the system.
We can create the world we want. We can create the world we want. They're going to tell us that we can't have nice public housing. They're going to tell us that our schools can't look nice. They can't look like their schools. They're going to keep telling us that this is how it's going to be. We'll give you a little bit, we'll change a little bit, we'll move some numbers around in the budget.
The power of workers to strike is labor's oldest and most powerful weapon. Beyond its utility for achieving workers' demands, the strike is a unique vehicle for political education and the raising of working class consciousness. We know that none of us are free until all of us are free.
You know, just for a little history, when you talk about the police department, it was formed in New York City to catch and apprehend fugitive slaves. The city's first DA was Richard Riker, whose family owned Rikers Island. His namesake is on the prison now. So when these guys over here imprison people like Khalid Browder unjustly, they're sending him to Rikers Island, the namesake of the first DA who was part of a kidnapping group.
The MTA is run with $53 billion of debt to scumbags like Jeff Bezos. Okay. Now they're talking about 8,400 layoffs of New York City transit workers, a 40% cut in service, and $1 raise in your subway fare, your bus fare. And we have to say, hell no, we've sacrificed enough. There will be no discussions about us without us. Period. End of story.
The people that have built this country, the people that have worked to make capitalism work, are the people that suffer the most. Without us, there is no them.
In the early 1900s, my great-grandmother worked on a plantation in Alabama. Back then, plantation security was built on the foundation of slave patrols that operated as police and the military-industrial complex of that day. That exploitation not only built America, but allowed us to undergo the transitions of industrialization. Today, in the private sector, it is Amazon warehouses that fulfill the role of the modern American plantation. If you go to a New York City warehouse today, you will see where modern capitalism places the poor, but especially black and brown people, so that we can create the wealth of the richest man on earth today. Workers have built the world. We're the ones who make the world run.
That's right.
We built this world.
That's right.
And if we want to stop building the world for the billionaires, well, that power is in our hands. That new world is in our grasp. I believe that